Ravens OTAs have begun and the questions are rolling in. I am joined by Sarah Ellison sitting in for Garrett Downing. Let's jump right into it. What do you say?
Let's do it.
All right, first question is from @xshizzlex, and they ask, who do you see being the number 2 back behind Justin Forsett? Kenneth Dixon or Buck Allen?
But hold on. You got to ask yourself,
Yeah.
do you see Justin Forsett as a lock as the number 1 running back?
I don't know if I would consider him a lock. I would say if I had to put $100 on it, yeah, he's starting week 1, but I don't think it's a lock. This is really up in the air. But if we're assuming that Justin Forsett is the starter, we'll say for the number 2 back, I'll go Buck Allen. And I think that Buck Allen last year proved that he is worthy of being a starter. I mean, after 10 games, he took over for Justin and did quite well, I thought. He's a good complement to Justin Forsett. He's a bigger bodied guy. He also catches the ball well out of the backfield. So I think Buck Allen is really a good option. But I'll throw this out there. I think there could be a guy not even listed here, not Kenneth Dixon or Buck Allen, who's the number 2 back. Am I the only guy that's really excited about Trent Richardson?
He's looking good.
I think that dude could
good.
ball out this summer and end up being the number 2 back. So this is really up in the air.
Terrence West, I mean, Dixon, all of them.
Taliaferro.
I haven't seen a position like this where literally all 6 guys on the roster could be the number 2 back.
Seriously.
And maybe even number 1.
Maybe even the starter.
Yeah,
exactly.
Totally. Okay, the next question comes in from Kevin Riddell, who asks, any chance the Ravens bring in Antonio Cromartie before training camp? You know, Kevin, I like the idea of an Antonio-type player because the Ravens have a lot of corners that can play nickel. They're smaller frame. They're a little bit better suited for that. And I think the Ravens could use more bigger frames like this, where Antonio's 6'2", 210 pounds. You need depth there on the outside. That said, I don't see any more moves at the cornerback position before training camp. I think the Ravens want to see what they have in their younger guys, kind of let them play, see what Sharice Wright is going to do on the outside. And if then they're not excited about something, I'd say like 2 weeks into training camp or when those first wave of cuts come through, maybe the Ravens go to the street to find a bigger outside corner.
Yeah, I would agree. And Gerard Powers can play outside even though he protects more to slot. You have some backup options there. You have depth. The last question comes from Nick Kopp, and Nick asks, what 2017 free agent will most likely not be with us in the future? This one scares me. This is way down the line.
Yeah.
But I will say the guy who it concerns me that he might not be around will be Brandon Williams. And I think the Ravens really, really want to keep Brandon around. I mean, obviously he's a great player on the field, best run stopper in the NFL. He's also great in the locker room, in the community. I mean, everybody loves.
It's not a question that the Ravens would want.
Everybody loves Brandon Williams. But for that reason, everybody else around the NFL, I think, is going to love to have Brandon Williams also. And he's a guy that, like a Kelechi Osemele, like a Art Jones, you know, some of these guys, or if he balls out again this year, I could very well see a team ponying up the money. And the Ravens have depth at defensive tackle. Not a true nose tackle like Brandon, but they have other pieces. So that one concerns me because I'd really love to see Brandon.
That one's scary. I think the Ravens want him. The one that I see more as maybe more of a sure thing is Matt Elam. And that's because the Ravens already chose not to exercise the option off of his rookie contract. So when you have that, and then Matt Elam's going to have a hard time this year changing their minds because where is he going to get playing time? You've got Eric Weddle, you've got Lardarius Webb, and then if there's an injury there, you have Kendrick Lewis.
Yeah.
So to me, a first-round pick, he might be the one that doesn't return next year.
I would agree with that. Well, thank you for all of our questions, and we will be back next week with more on Ravens Mailbag.